Hey there everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mike and this is OpenMikeWorkshop. So today we're going to talk about how to release a song and how to not screw that up. So you planned out the song, you wrote it all out, you recorded it, you mixed it, you mastered it. Now you have this great file and you survived that chorus that almost broke up the band. Now you're ready to release it to the world, which is when most people get a couple of things wrong. In part 1, we talked about why distribution matters and compared costs versus revenue. In this video, we're going to get technical, exporting the file, uploading the album cover, uploading everything onto Soundrop, and then what actually happens when your music hits YouTube. Because once you click submit on the Distributors website, there's no going back. You're not fixing this later. This is like a permanent tattoo, not dry eraser marker.
Alright, so let's start with the audio file itself here inside of Cakewalk Sonar, because if this file is wrong, every platform is going to get the wrong version forever. So you just want to do some very simple settings in the file extract. So here we're going to go to File, Export Audio. We're exporting this track that we've played, mixed, mastered, ready for prime time. I'm going to export the audio. Alright, I leave the name alone because the name is Little Red Riding Hood. That's the name of this song. So I'm going to leave it alone. I don't need to change anything. The sample rate, I want to make sure it says 44.1, and it does. I want to make sure the bit rate is 24 bits. And that's it. There's no normalization needed, anything like that. Just have the one track selected, the entire project. Hopefully you've built in a fade at the end so you know how the song ends. Once that's all done, simply export it with the same name as the project itself, and you'll have a high quality file that you can now distribute. Override if needed, that's fine. You can export this as many times as you want, so make sure the last one is the correct one. Okay, once you see that export audio successfully completed, you know you're done. And now this file can move on to the next part of the process.
And that's it. That's the list. If your menu options on your DAW have more selections than Starbucks, just ignore the rest. So you might be asking yourself, self? Yes? Why 44.1 kilohertz? Because most streaming platforms have all their songs at 44.1. There's no reason to go anywhere higher. You're just wasting time at that point. If you export it at 48 or 96, they'll just downsample it anyway. You're not impressing anyone. You're simply wasting time. You also might be asking yourself, self? Yes? Why 24-bit? 24-bit gives better headroom and a cleaner conversion. It's like sending the platform a high-resolution photo instead of a screenshot of a screenshot. And whatever you do, do not upload an MP3 file. I know it may sound okay at the time, but that's taking a step further back in quality. It's like sending a PDF of a screenshot of a screenshot. The quality just gets reduced too much. And also, there's no need to normalize your WAV file. Streaming platforms normalize them anyway. Crushing your song to death doesn't make it any louder or better. It just makes it smaller. So now let's talk about the album artwork. The thing that everybody ignores until they try to do it, and they usually get it wrong. Most distributors require 3000 by 3000 pixels, a perfect square, JPEG or a PNG file format, RGB color, no URLs, no social handles, no pricing, and no out now messaging. Basically, if it looks like a crazy YouTube thumbnail, it's probably getting rejected. Just because you might see someone else getting away with it doesn't cover you. And it doesn't need to be expensive. It just needs to look intentional. I use various tools to generate this AI image. It could be Canva, it could be ChatGPT, it could be Claude. It doesn't really matter, as long as you're able to put in some effective prompts that can generate an image that relays the mood of the song that you put together. You want it to try to elicit an emotion. Remember, this is the image that will be displayed across all platforms. It's a tiny image with big judgment.
All right, we're going to go ahead and go into Canva here. So Canva has this Canva AI option. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. And I'm just going to describe the song. So this is Little Red Riding Hood. It's just a song from the early 60s about the big bad wolf walking Little Red Riding Hood home. So it's Halloween themed. I added some Halloween sounds and sound effects. So I'm going to see if I can get something spooky. So let's just try typing in some prompts. After you enter your prompt, just see what Canva comes up with. Maybe great, maybe terrible. Just give it a shot. I kind of like this one, but it looks like the wolf is facing forward and Little Red Riding Hood is facing the other way, like they're square dancing. Let me ask him to tweak that. All right, see what kind of changes we can get out of this. That's wrong. Kind of like that title, but this one's okay. Yeah, let me try this one. Missing my name. I mean, I can add that in, but that doesn't make sense. Definitely not going with that one. Let's see. Not the greatest here. I'm going to copy this. Let's try it in ChatGPT. So I'm going to try the same prompt. See what different ideas ChatGPT has for this title. That's not bad. All right, I'm going to go with this one. So I'm just going to download it. So basically, you let these AI tools do a lot of the hard work for you, and you just reap the benefits here. So I just put in a good prompt, got back a great result. Love the look, the feel. It's kind of a spooky song anyway, so I'm going to use this as my cover. So let me download it. All right, now I have to edit this in Paint or any other tool to make sure that the sizing is correct and the file type is correct. So I'm going to go ahead and open this. Alright, it's a PNG file. So PNG, again, it's a little higher quality. I always tend to use PNG files. So now we have the cover art and we have our WAV file. So here they are. This is just a generic image created by ChatGPT, but there we go. So now I have my cover and I have my WAV file. We'll move on to the upload next.
Alright, now let's upload all of this to Soundrop.
Alright, once you're logged into Soundrop and you want to upload a new song, you just click on My Music. Alright, you'll see everything you've uploaded to date, but if I want to upload a new song from Action here, I'm going to create a new release. Alright, first thing it asks for is the artwork. So minimum is 1400, but recommended 3000, 3000. So that's what we're going to use, and it says no larger than 10 megabytes. We're going to meet that too. So just select your cover art. So that's what we generated earlier. Little Red Riding Hood. And there we go. Artwork is submitted. All right, it's English. The title is as the original. All right. It's not a compilation. The artist is going to be your name.
And the artist name, spell it or select it exactly as you want it to appear. Every time. If you spell it differently or create a new artist name with a variant spelling, you're not going to get a warning. All you've done is really created another profile. And then at that point, congratulations. You're now competing with yourself.
If you collaborated with someone, you can click on add other key artists and you can share royalties. But for this song, it was just me. I'm just going to say this is rock. Pop, I guess it was pop rock at the time in the 60s. All right. This was previously released. Oh, no. This song specifically that I'm uploading was not on a release. All right, then you go to tracks. Here we're going to upload a new track. So we're going to select the one that we've already worked on and uploaded. So I find the file. There it is. And open. All right. Once it loads, it'll tell you the bit depth. We selected 24 and 44.1 kilohertz and your length. So there it is, and just select certain things here as needed. It'd be English. Again, Little Red Riding Hood. All right, it was just me. You have to pick a credit here, so I'm going to say all instruments for me. I played the bass drums. Yep. There we go. Do I have a code? No. We'll generate it for you. Explicit release. Lyrics? No. This track is a cover song. When I select the cover song, it requires a mechanical license. See it right here. Oops. Oh, well, let me select. But anywho, it says it needs a mechanical license, and they'll help us get that. So then I'm good with that. I have my track. Then you go to publishing. Select the next tab. All right. Now we have to add in the detailed information or the metadata about this song. So the original song title was the same. Original recording artist, you should have that handy. All right. The original songwriter and composer, you might have to look this one up. I just use Google. It's usually pretty accurate. Ronald Blackwell. All right. ISWC, that's a code, so you're going to have to look that up as well. Unless you just happen to have this memorized, but I doubt it. Enter that as well. Alright, title of the original album, not sure, I'll have to look that up as well. Alright, and then you have to find and add the Spotify link for this song, so I'm going to look up the original. Anywho, I'm going to put in the Spotify link. There we go. I thought I asked for the year. I'll put it in here. But yeah, I'll just say 1966. Save it. Adding all of that information in Soundrop expedites the process for getting these songs approved. And then if you have any revenue splits, this was just me, so whatever revenue comes in, if any, would go to me. That's all. Now I save it, and then I need to pay for it. This is where I'd pay the $4.95, and at this point it's done. It's going to take 2 or 3 weeks for everything to clear, but the Soundrop upload process is complete.
It'll take 2 to 3 weeks, sometimes sooner, for the distributor to get through the process of getting your song out to all of the various streaming sites like Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Pandora, etc. This window of time should give you the ability to promote as well, create some teasers, get people excited about the upcoming song. Now, I mentioned some streaming sites earlier, but you're probably wondering, what's the full list of streaming services that Soundrop will distribute to? Well, let's take a look.
When you log into Soundrop after releasing a new song, you'll see here I happen to have 11 releases. I wanted to show where these songs are streaming to. So let's pick a song, I don't know, The Gambler. Pretty good one. If you're a Kenny Rogers fan, you click on individual songs. See, there's the album cover for that one. Tells you there's been 20 total streams. I'm not sure what that means for me, but the tracks, if you wanted to, you can listen to each song. So that's pretty neat. Stats just give you some overall summary, and then distribution shows where these songs are being actively distributed right now. So you can see for this song, it's available on Amazon and many sites I've never heard of, which are international, so outside of the US, but it's available on all these platforms. You can find them as songs to use in Snapchat or Facebook, for example. So it's weird, but they're everywhere. iHeart, iTunes, GoBuzz, Spotify, TikTok. So they're available everywhere. And that's the list. So that's where these songs all get distributed to. They all get distributed to the same streaming services every time. So it's always these.
The distribution service is not going to upload these files manually. They're going to send the raw files and the metadata into all the various systems. So if you make a mistake at this point, you're going to see it everywhere. All right, now let's talk a little bit more about YouTube. Specifically, the thing that no one explains. When your distributor sends music to YouTube and you do not have an OAC in place, YouTube will create an artist name -topic channel. In my case, it says artist name Mike Ebhart, and that's my topic channel, and all of my releases are deployed to that channel because I don't have an associated OAC. When I go there, it certainly looks like my channel, but it's not. It's just a generic channel. So without having an official artist channel, your music will release live onto this topic channel. Your music videos that you create live on your channel. Subscribers for the two don't combine, and your branding at this point is split. This is suboptimal. This can become confusing because your fans may not know which channel to follow. The almighty algorithm really doesn't know who you are, and you're sitting there wondering why nothing connects. Some distributors used to handle the OAC portion for you, get that created in YouTube, but the lower cost options have stopped doing that. So Soundrop, CD Baby, they are no longer creating OACs on artists' behalf. So now this becomes your problem. In my previous video, I walked through a workaround where you can eventually link your artist channel to your personal channel, and you can bring everything together and have new releases go to your personal channel moving forward. One caveat was that I did use CD Baby as my example repeatedly until I discovered they were bought out and no longer offer that service. So for that, you'd have to use one of the more expensive services to get your OAC created, like Lander, TuneCore, or DistroKid. So this is the reality of releasing music today. It's not hard, but it is specific. And here's a very quick recap. Remember to have the correct WAV file export properties, generate clean and intentional album artwork, make sure your metadata is accurate, consider your release timing when uploading a new song, and understand how YouTube actually treats your music. If this helped, like, subscribe, and all that YouTube jazz. Part 1 I talked about earlier was more about the revenue costs and comparing certain distributors against each other, more of a higher level discussion. The final video in this overview series will be about generating AI visuals for your music video, if you choose to do that. Remember that making the song is the fun part. Releasing it properly, that's just a bunch of paperwork and consequences. Alright, we'll see you in the next video. Hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll talk to you next time.